Happy days. All right, cool. Starting AU, obviously bullish at the moment. I'm gonna do like a big fucking top down. Um, Weekly, deep retracement, sitting inside of here for now, working with this as an internal, come to the low, working our way up, really just looking for us to come take out here, potentially take out this, and long term potentially coming to take out that high, given that we've had a massive retracement of respected the low of that range. Right now, obviously still just working our way up. AU is probably actually looking the best at the moment out of the pairs, just given that we've actually got some structure to work with. So on my hourly at the minute, obviously it's not too relevant, but working inside of here right now, looks like we're potentially starting to step our way down. We did have quite a reasonable break to the downside here. So I'm working from this high to this low as my extreme of my 15. We have come into the rest of this news week and had good reaction out of there. So price may want to use this as a demand that it's going to respect and potentially come take out this high. It does have potential to do that for sure. But we have had this internal break to the upside right now. So whether we end up coming to take out this high, sort of like midterm with it, or whether we're just using this internal break and the reaction from here to start a complex pullback to potentially some of these higher areas that we've got in that 15 bearish before maybe continuing bearish to come down to fill some of these imbalance and mitigate some of those lower points. Obviously not sure until it happens, but for right now, working with this internal break, prices come right down, respecting the low. And then we've had a little bit of an internal break there as well during Asia. So had this break. This isn't the best structure. Obviously, it's pretty sideways, but obviously respecting the low, and it is a bit of a break that we can use. Price right now is reacting out of a supply point, which did react out of a bit of a demand inside of here. Not the best demand that it reacted out of, as the way that it formed is kind of a little bit iffy. It's like a 30, like a 30-minute points using that whole area. Not the best demand area to use, but just marking it out as just to make sure I'm following with price. So at the moment on AU, really what I'm looking to do is get above here. That's my next place for a sell. I'm not going to sell after the take of this. I want that break up the top before I look to do anything sell-wise with it. I'm not really wanting to sell at the moment, but AU does make sense in, I guess, from that outlook of take there, sell back down, and then buy back up. Ideally, though, I'd like to buy it. So for me to buy it, I'm going to wait for price to come down, take the inducement, the retest of this breaker structure here, which also gives us an inducement of the 50% of Asia, which is something that Brad and I are playing around with at the moment on a different entry point. The other option is we come right down to the bottom and then buy. From there, just given where we are right now, 20 minutes before London, I don't see price coming all the way down here and then coming all the way back up. If it does come down here, I wouldn't be surprised if we do take out this low, which we can then obviously buy from there anyway. Just don't want to be trying to catch too much of falling knobs or anything at the minute. So yeah, ideally come down, take this low and get a buy from somewhere out of there, or like I said, sell this high. Just want to be careful going against any sort of momentum at the moment. Momentum right now seems to be sort of holding stronger than structural points or mitigations. So just want to be mindful of that. GU, I'm going to run through a bit of an outlook on GU. Fuck me, it is melted since I last looked at it. What the fuck? That's kind of good though. When we were right here, I had absolutely no plan on going anywhere near it. I'll do a bit of an outlook on it as well from a top-down perspective. Working with here, that's my weekly, my daily. We've come right up to the top, but right now we've come obviously to the bottom of the weekly and are starting to step our way back up. So really looking to come and take out that high long term. So I just want to be trying to buy it, especially with the current momentum. And go back down to the 15. So these 2 points here are both 4-hour points, fit within the size limits. So happy to use them. Keeps it nice and simple. Of course, this one here did react out of the supply point as well. So it has a good amount of strength there. So really just waiting for us to come down and mitigate this point, and then I'm happy to buy. When price is sitting around here, when it's sitting in areas like that, we don't even want to try and pick an analysis on it besides, okay, cool, where are my next two areas? Here or the high? When we don't have any structure like this and we're sitting mid-range, Just don't even try picking analysis on it. Don't try and guess what it's going to do. Just go with what the market tells you, what the facts you've got behind it of low, high, supply, created the demand, cool, probability, high probability, high probability for sells, right? Don't try and pick, sort of like if it does this, because it's then all hypothetical. And if your hypothetical theory of what it's going to do doesn't play out, you just put all that energy into it for no reason, and you might miss something that it's actually doing based upon the obviously structure that's being created. So just be mindful of that. If you've got nothing to work with, you've got nothing to work with. Just work with what you've got. Sweet. Fuck, I went through that really quick. Hopefully that made sense.
Alrighty, EU. Fucking confusion central. Basically we are bullish. I don't even probably have to say it at this point. I do see long term us taking this high and taking this high. Normally in a normal circumstance, I'm expecting a reaction off of the take of this to then push back up. But obviously what we're experiencing is absolutely no reactions at all, really. It's just pushing through. So I'm expecting a small retracement. How small, we will find out today. Basically, with what's happened as well, we've broken the high, pulled down, then taken the high and actually broken 15-minute internal and not reactive on anything bullish yet. So sells do make sense. In terms of where to sell from, not really anywhere we can look at just yet. I am open to continuation sells, and I'll explain why in a second. In terms of where that can happen from, got a nice 10-minute point here, and I'm quite happy to look in here as this is a point that did take liquidity, and all of this is mitigated nicely as well. So if we get some lower time frame confirmations in there around London Open, more than happy to look down to sell. It is the higher risk alternative, and I'll explain why in terms of now we've had this break of structure here, pull down, retest, we've then pushed up and broken small internal. So you can look at this two ways. You can either look at this as a small 15-minute break that didn't break the high. So what it's going to do is come down to grab internal liquidity like it has and push back up. Or you can look at this as 15-minute internal break, pull up into our last supply area to then push down to then eventually buy back up. So there's two ways to look at this. The overwhelming bullish market at the moment, I would stay with the bullish momentum first. If you're going to catch a sell here, manage it quickly. I wouldn't be targeting anything higher than a 1 to 3 realistically at the moment, or break even and trail your stop. Now, in terms of where I'm looking to buy this thing, we've got this break of structure here that we haven't retested. So I'm looking for price to come down here, take this 15-minute low, so kind of get an inducement into this retest of structure. I don't know if price will come down to this, which is an hourly point. So I'm quite happy to look for this type of movement here, or option 2 here. Okay, but I'm not going to be looking for overall sells in a buyer's market like we're in now. But if it breaks that low first, are you talking about this low here? I see this low as actually a 15-minute inducement for price to continue upwards. So I'm going to be looking for buyers when it takes this. This may not be enough to break this high, so I'm quite happy to sell from here. Just the logical outlook of what could happen. I'm expecting this type of movement. But with how bullish we are, we may just get that, literally exactly that. So we will see what happens. And price at the moment isn't in any points or anything interesting. It's just inside this internal range. I would try not to get caught in this. We've still got 15 minutes to open. Hopefully we can get that push down and that inducement to get sellers in before we look to buy, rather than buying out of a pretty filled area here. Holds a lot of risk to try and catch that. It's definitely the least cleanest of what we've had. Okay, so we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, we're just so bullish at the moment. I'm not going to expect sells at the moment.
Sweet. Happy days.
Yeah.
And same as what we've been doing the last couple of days, we'll more than likely go live on London Open, see what it's going to set up. See if we can catch that initial movement, as it seems like that's when the market's really been pushing lately. So we'll jump on like 10 minutes or so and go from there.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Awesome. See you all soon.
Awesome catches.